Hi, welcome to another council meeting recap. Council had a meeting last night, July 22nd. Also invited to this meeting was the Planning Commission, as the meeting focused on local and regional transportation planning and transportation projects. The two construction-related projects was the Coleman Street Collector project. That is a project that has been discussed for a number of years. The city received funding from state and federal funds, so North and South Coleman will ultimately be redeveloped or reconstructed. That will also include sidewalks. Sidewalks are scheduled to go on the west side of the road. So phase one is happening over the winter, the final planning, and then bidding and construction next spring and summer. So we're gearing up to talk with the neighbors about that, finalize the bids, and have that off and running in March of 26. The first phase is some pedestrian improvements at the intersection of Pearl and Coleman, and then moving north on Coleman from Pearl to McKenzie Street, and then improving some parts of McKenzie Street that we're squeezing into the project as well. The second project, also state and federal funding, is the extension of the loop path, and that's at the end of Sarah Lane, where the loop path currently ends at North Industrial, will be improved and it'll turn north, and it will connect with the section that was built a few years ago, making a continuous path all the way from Sarah Lane to Trails End Wetland Park. So it's a great project that's actually will be underway in probably 1 to 2 weeks, finishing in October. And it also includes some paving on North Industrial that is really important for our commercial industrial customers and businesses in that section of town. The other two projects are more long-range planning projects, and the focus of the conversation was a feasibility study that has been kind of preliminarily approved and allocated for 2026. So wanting to revisit that, it was applied for in 22, awarded in 23, and scheduled for 26. So it's a long-range thing that we wanted to have a conversation with council about whether the attributes and the need for the project still exist. And just to make sure there's a clear understanding of what the scope of the project is. So it's an east-west connector that actually is a theoretical future road to the north of town, north of the school property, running from Powerline all the way to North Industrial, as somewhat of a bypass for commuter and freight traffic. And there are a lot of pros and cons to that. It's a regional road, not a local road. It requires a lot of partnership with Lane County and a lot of real detailed traffic engineering and design study, and may or may not actually accomplish what is needed for the regional and local system. And then that rolled right into our transportation system plan. And every city has to have a transportation system plan that outlines 20 years of future road improvements and extensions to account for growth and development throughout the community, and how that connects then with the regional transportation system plans. So we're working on some preliminary assessment work for that, and the update really will probably happen in 2028 or 2029, which is really right on track for an update of about every 15-year cycle. I hope these updates are useful, and stay tuned for more updates on the city's website.